promised land. We deliver the result.
They were promised a Canadian dream.
Refund now!
Many now say the dream was a lie. Victims say they were scammed into thinking they had jobs, then recruiting others into the same trap.
So basically our job is also to look for other candidates who might be interested to come here in Canada.
Life savings gone.
I felt like I'm never gonna get my money back anymore.
In what this former employee calls a pyramid scheme.
All these documents that they got the clients sign are bogus. It means nothing.
The company? Promised Land Consultancy. The target? Filipinos looking for a better life.
And my kids were excited about the snow. We were about to move to St. John's. That was the plan.
Christian Ray Sualog lives in the Philippines. He's an accountant with 3 kids.
A lot of people here are struggling, to provide for their families.
Last year, a friend reached out with an opportunity in Canada.
It looked legitimate to me because he was my close friend. So I said, okay, I trust you. I don't know the company, but I put my trust in you. So let's talk about this. So that's how I met the Promised Land Consultancy.
The promise? Pay $25,000 and the consultancy would do the paperwork, securing Sualog and his family permanent residency in Canada and a job in Newfoundland. He paid half in advance, more than $12,000.
I had to borrow money. I had to use my car as collateral so I can raise the first payment.
Since then, nothing. No job, no refund, no Canada.
It's heart-shattering. And I barely slept since middle of last year.
Turns out, Sualog and his friend were both caught up in a recruiting scheme run out of Vancouver.
We are the La Chica family. We are now here in Vancouver, Canada.
The Promised Land Consultancy, or PLC, offered an immigration fast track,
Thanks to the help of the Promised Land Consultancy,
handling the paperwork for student visas, work permits, even permanent residency. Online posts targeted the Filipino population.
Hi, I'm Joseph Miranda and I'm from Vancouver, Canada.
It's CEO Joseph Miranda, a picture of success, showing off cars,
Electric car, so beautiful. And look at the interior.
living large, taking trips.
In the beginning, it seemed like a promising company.
Rosanna Salida is a licensed immigration consultant. She was hired by the Promised Land Consultancy in March 2024. She saw red flags when she met her co-workers.
After a week, I found out that they have hired tourists. Half of the people working there are all visitors. And they said that all of them are their clients.
Red flag, because under almost all circumstances, it's illegal for people on a visitor visa to work in Canada. Here's what she figured out was happening. People would pay thousands of dollars to the Promised Land to secure a job. While they were waiting, the consultancy hired some of them to recruit others, even though they were not legally able to work. And she says, as far as she could tell, there were no real jobs.
You can tell that the visitors were so shocked that they realized that they've been duped.
On top of that, Salida says the company fraudulently used her signature.
See, there's my signature, digital signature that I used.
More than a dozen times.
So all these documents that they got the clients sign are bogus. It means nothing.
After a month on the job, Salida quit. But first, she downloaded all the documents she could. CBC News added up the fees from those contracts and others we obtained. We found in a 9-month period between August 2023 and May 2024, PLC charged more than $2 million in fees to more than 150 people and collected at least $500,000. Some may have gotten what they paid for, but not these protesters.
They never delivered on their promise.
Late last year, they gathered outside the Promised Land's Vancouver office demanding refunds.
Tama na! Sobra na! Refund now!
That's where we met Michael. We aren't using his real name. He's worried about repercussions.
Basically, our job is to look for some people who might be interested to come here in Canada as well.
Michael was one of the visitors who paid money for a job he never got and ended up having to recruit others. He lost his life savings and feels guilty for the role he played.
These people are suffering right now because they couldn't get the refund, and for some of them, they tried to reach us to get help, but we couldn't really do anything as well because we couldn't even help ourselves.
CBC News has learned Canada Border Services is investigating Promised Land Consultancy. That agency could recommend criminal charges to prosecutors. That's on top of 15 labor complaints and 11 lawsuits. And the Philippine government itself has put out a warning about the company. We reached out repeatedly to CEO Joseph Miranda and got no response. So we visited the Promised Land's last Vancouver location and found a sheriff's notice on the door.
You can see there's the British Columbia Sheriff's Service on the door. It says, "We've made many attempts at contacting you."
We called Joseph Miranda's cell phone, no answer. Others are desperate to get answers too.
This is the bankrupt that I gave it to Joseph. That's worth 10,000.
Lillian Tanoha is fighting to get her money back. She's a personal care worker in Vancouver. She paid $10,000 to the Promised Land Consultancy to secure a student visa for her niece. When nothing came through, she took Joseph Miranda to small claims court.
This is also my first time to go to the small court and file the case. So everything here is just new to me.
After an initial ruling in her favor, she received an e-transfer for $2,000. She's still fighting for the other 8.
If somebody there connected to Joseph Miranda.
She even tried to deliver documents in person to Joseph Miranda.
I think anger really drives you to do it. Like you're angry, you really wanted to do, not for yourself, but for everybody.
I despise them, and that still would be an understatement.
Christian Ray Sualog is about to lose his car. He expects it will be seized soon to pay off the debt he took on to pay the Promised Land. The family's days of dreaming of a new life in Newfoundland are over.
We actually know all the roads in St. John's, almost all of them, because we would do street view in Google Maps and show the kids what we're gonna do when we get there. So we just dreamt of going there. I dreamt of providing for my oh my God, sorry, sorry.
The Promised Land is no longer operating in BC, but they have set up shop in California, still promising a better life in a new land.